Hello! Gotham's finest. Now stop me if you've heard this one.
Hi folks, it's me, Ghost Critic, yet again, and it's Pick of the Week time. And there was no contest this week. I challenge anyone out there to tell me a better comic than was Batman issue 13, Death of the Family. Why? We'll keep watching. So yes, the Joker has returned. Last seen way back here in Batman Detective issue 1, the very beginning of our new DC 52. We saw him having his face like kind of sliced off, and then he disappeared. He disappeared for a whole year, obviously to concoct some plans for his glorious return. But in that year, you know, for people who have been reading Batman and all the titles that have gone around it, his name and his presence has never really left our new universe. Snyder packs so much into this, what is essentially a kind of setup issue for our Death of the Family crossover. So we have, you know, bad stuff is coming when, you know, the batshit crazy scenarios start dropping in, like lions giving birth to two-headed cubs, floods causing rivers to flow backwards, and yeah, the bad that's coming is the Joker, and he returns in his gloriously sadistical nature. He drives up to the front of Gotham Police Station, just goes in there and decides to kill everyone who's working there at the moment, apart from Gordon. This leads to a full alert for the Bat family, so we get some quick cameos from Nightwing, Red Robin and Batgirl. And then our Joker's next part of his plan, his murderous intentions for Mayor Haiti, and which leads on to Batman's kind of guard detail to ensure that the Joker's plans don't come to fruition. And it does and it doesn't. Try not to spoil this too much for you. And that leads on to our kind of origin of the Joker. It leads us all the way back to where we had the birth of the Joker, and that is Acme Chemicals. And even then, there's a kind of a nice little twist with the Red Hood and who is actually under it. It was just a great, thrilling storyline. The pacing by Snyder was tight. Exposition, not that heavy really. If you're a first time reader of the Batman, this new 52, it's a great place to start. You are gonna enjoy yourself. Hold on tight, because there are gonna be some great stuff to come from Snyder, I have no doubt. Now, everyone's spoken about the actual cover of Batman issue 13. This very clever marketing gimmick, ploy, whatever you want to call it, of this kind of die-cast mask that's wrapped around the actual book. And while that is a great idea, when I first saw it on the shelf, when I first picked it up and saw what was underneath, this idea was kind of germinating in my head already. Unfortunately, it was kind of debunked in a way, because Batgirl, that also came out this week, has the same kind of cover. But I think it's still a point worth noting, and that is the element of the mask. Now, this is a kind of plot point that has been brought up kind of a few times over the last few months in the Bat titles. Of course, when you remove the Bat mask, you have Batman underneath. And it just automatically, it leads you thinking, you know, a little bit further. Is Joker, you know, just a version of Batman taken to the extreme, taken to the darkest path? Is this how Batman could have turned out? Yes, like I said, we've lately had all these kind of clues to masks. We had the storyline, I think it was in Detective, with Black Mask. And when, you know, Batman seemed to be putting on the mask, or at least he was bringing it close to his face. We have, you know, the points to the darkness in the issue 0 where he was training, and his kind of sensei trainer was saying, you know, don't let anyone near, stay in the shadows, stay in the dark. So I thought a little bit further with the mask kind of idea, but like I said, Batgirl kind of debunked it in a way, debunked it in a way, unfortunately. But still, I think it's worth thinking of. It's not just a graphic design kind of thing to do. I think there was an intention behind it looking like this. As for the artwork, Capullo's standards is high as always. It's what we expect from him. My kind of little quibble with Capullo's art on here, and it's really only kind of the characterization, and that's with Bullock and Gordon at the start, and this would only really mean something to people who read Spawn. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but they remind me, and the way he's drawing them, very much of his kind of artistic creations that he did in Spawn, of Sam and Twitch, who were both detectives. Sam being our Bullock character, and Gordon being the Twitch character. I don't know if anyone else noticed that in the Batman title, that always has already read Spawn as well, if they noticed that, but I certainly have, and although you can see it is Gordon and you can see it is Bullock, I still think he's drawing from past characters he's used before. But apart from that, no quibbles at all with Capullo's artwork on here. It's all, you know, what we're used to, and the standard is high, and it all looks a bit, you know, crazy in parts. But then of course you have that backup story with just the further extremes of craziness. That is Jock and his version, his maniacal, crazy, ugly, grimy, scratchy looking Joker, making him look even more crazy than he has in the previous story. Just a great look and feel to it. It's scary. There are some scary, tense, really dynamic moments in here, and it's just perfect. One of the main concerns that us kind of long-time readers of DC Comics have had with the New 52 is, of course, the historical element of any given character, and I guess especially with Batman, in the sense that, you know, what is canon, what is sort of canon but we've twisted a little bit, and of course that everything's happened in 5 years. And, you know, I'll put my hand up to it as well. It annoys me to an extent. But there are moments like what happened in this comic that just make me smile and just think the old DC hasn't been forgotten. And I'm not talking about 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I'm talking right back to the beginning, 1940. Yes, in Batman issue 13, there is the scene of the kind of televised Joker declaration that he's going to kill Mayor Haiti at midnight. And we have this person dressed up as the Joker. It's not really the Joker. And Batman figures out that it's someone called John Clayridge. Now, John Clayridge is the son of Henry Clayridge. And Henry Clayridge was the very first person that Joker, as far as Batman knows, murdered. But where did that come from? Well, it came from here. If I can get this right for you. Batman, issue 1. Yep. 1940, spring 1940, the first ever appearance of the Joker. The storyline is kind of used again. The Joker is using an old plot. In this storyline from the 1940s, the Joker was saying he was going to kill all these people and it was going to be on the stroke of midnight, and through it all Batman had to work out how he was doing it, given that, you know, as soon as he made this declaration, the police all came round to guard him, no one can get at him, but yet these people still died. And I just was blown away that Scott Snyder was that brave to use one of the very, very first storylines from Batman, given that there is all this nonsense about everything's happened in 5 years. Barbara Gordon isn't Oracle anymore. Tim Drake was never Robin. All these crazy things that they're putting, or basically taking out of that Batman mythos. But Snyder just picks up something like that and throws it in to say, look, I know you guys loved the history of Batman, and I'm going to make sure it's still in there for you. That the new DC 52, we haven't completely ruined it all. We still appreciate, you know, the loyalty that you've given us over like 70, 80 years. And I just thought it was a great touch. And some people may not have noticed it, so I thought I'd let you know that. So without a doubt, Batman issue 13, the first part of Death of the Family, gets a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 5 stars, 2 thumbs up. It was as near to perfect as a comic book can possibly be. And if you've not gone out and picked it up yet, what are you doing still watching this? Off you go. Until next time, it's me, Ghost Critic, saying bye-bye.